Hello, everybody. Fearmy Games here, back 3 year or more hiatus from this campaign, but it's just bothered me. Stuff like I want to play it, I want to continue it. I feel the campaign, I want to keep going. So finally, I've given in. For now, at least we'll make some more episodes. I'm gonna prioritize the Guild Wars playthrough though, but I do want to make some videos in this series. See how things pan out. See if you guys like it. If you guys like it, great. If not, oh well, I won't worry. Oh well, I want to get this done, and then if nobody watches it, I just won't make another Rome Total War campaign. I'll just focus on other things. But to kind of get you an idea, for those of you who maybe watched the series before, we start off as these little archbosphorus over here. We conquered our way east and south, taking out the Armenians, taking out the Seleucid Empire, marching ever eastward until we conquered all of the known world in this region. We've made these guys, I think, are our allies. I don't think I subjugated them. I'm pretty sure these are allies. I subjugated these guys though, and I subjugated Bactria. I was like, you know what? I won't just conquer you, Bactria. I will make you a vassal state in your home realm. I will be benevolent to you. We'll see if we regret that in the future. We also have an early ally because originally we had Pergamon was actually a bigger faction than it is now, and we had Pergamon and Bithynia be kind of a buffer to the west because we were focused entirely on the east for a large portion of this campaign. So we kind of had them be a buffer state for us. Pergamon, unfortunately, was eventually beaten up by Rome to the point where they only have Pergamon left. They're still our allies. Yeah, I'm not going to betray them. We have good relations with Rhodos and with Knossos, I'm pretty sure. At least I'm pretty sure that's how it goes. Um, Asgarta, one of our allies, has a random outpost over here. Don't ask me why. We've actually allied with Egypt, and they've been a rather reliable ally. I'm quite happy with them. They're kind of a southwestern buffer, though you always have to keep an eye on them because they're also a pretty big faction. So if they choose to turn against us, that's kind of a breadbasket is the Fertile Crescent over here. So we got to be careful. We are at war with the Arabian Peninsula over here, but they haven't really attacked us. I don't remember. I don't remember if I have a force there yet or just on its way. But let's kind of get into the political situation, the diplomatic status. This actually could tell me if who's my allies and who's not. But you can kind of see I own the yellow area, a large portion of the known world, if I do say so myself. Yeah, then my allies are here in Egypt. Looks like I allied these guys. Yeah, and then these are neutral. Then I'm at war with these guys currently because they attacked me. I don't know what I'm doing with them. I might make them my client state. I might try to sack the city and hope one of my allies takes over because I really don't want it because it's just a small little outpost. It's like in the middle of all of my little subjects. So I don't really kind of want it. But, we'll kind of see. My big enemy is Rome. My goal of this campaign, barring any actual campaign requirements, is to beat Rome. Beat up Rome, take it over, show us the Hellenes is the best. So I also want to kind of show you guys a little bit about the political landscape. It's been a little bit while. So we are the Spartasaur dynasty. That is our family. So what they did consider is the fact that if you see here, this our current capital, I moved it to where the Seleucids are because I was more centered on our territory. And so we basically control essentially the former Seleucid Empire is where we have the most amount of loyalty in our empire, and our new conquests in Europe. However, our ancient homeland of Archbosphorus and the northeast is controlled by the second most powerful political party. We have to make sure they don't get too powerful, or else they might maybe cause a civil war. The other two are kind of so weak to the point they're not much of a threat. One of them is in former Pontus. The other one is in basically what's modern day Georgia, the Caucasus. So they're not that big of a threat, but these guys are the big threat we have to keep an eye on. I think part of the reason why they got so much influence is probably because one of my best emperors, one of my best generals is probably in that faction. that kind of gives them some influence. So, for example, this guy over here. So I've been trying to be more careful with who I recruit as generals, trying to get my other factions more powerful. I think this guy, what does that mean? I would like to see your character portrait. Can I, do you still, does that work here? I guess not. Oh, well, I won't worry about it. So we kind of get now a more zoomed in view of what our situation is. So we have blockading Salamis, but we actually need an army to take them out, or else we're just gonna have some problems. Kind of need to make sure we're making some progress on building up our provinces best we can. Is that we do have an army here. You're gonna have to be careful about how I go in for the attack here. I'm gonna fortify here for a second. Because this is the capital city. I would ideally have some allies over here. Start taking people out. Making sure, see if there's any of my areas that are particularly likely to rebel on me. And I'm also going to do some upgrading, I think. I have to be careful and not to do anything that will take away food. Because I am negative 40 food right now, and it'd be a problem if my people starve anymore. We do have a lot of money coming in each month, which I can appreciate. Right now, we're building up Dacia as kind of our power based to attack Rome itself. But let's send our spy up here because there is actually a path from the Dacians who conquered to the Getae. These aren't Dacians. The Getae to the north, who could potentially come down here and attack, especially since do we have an arm? No, that's Bactria. Never mind. Do we have an army from over here? No, we don't. So we do have an army in Niso. They're kind of at a point where they can attack in two separate directions. I can either try and take Pella, which would be a huge win for us. Because if we take Pella, that gives us access to the Aegean Sea. I was right. I was like, my brain's like, this is the Aegean Sea, right? I was like, and then we have, yep. Well, technically, we already have access to Nephesos, but Pella's a bigger settlement. It kind of hopefully might lock my allies away from the rest of southern Greece. I plan on liberating Athens and Sparta when I take them, release them as, good Greeks. We do need to take these guys out because these guys are loyal Roman allies, which can be a threat. The thing I'm going to do is I am going to take my army and I'm going to go towards Rome. There is a champion, so he might cause us some problems, but kind of have to deal with what we got to do. Yeah, we have an enemy army here, not a very strong one, but still an army, and we have an enemy army over here. Fortunately, a kink here, they have a fair amount of turns where these two are really in a position to hold their own. I thought I could see the garrison, but I guess that's more of a later game option to do. Okay, Empire maintenance. It's so high. Jesus. Unfortunately, this secondary army here, which I would love to bring over here to help protect Singleton, is still being built. It's has 2 turns before it's ready. Let's see, it looks like I was using some levy hoplites to fill in the gap for my front line. I was filling in using Scythian archers. Looks like foot archers to fill out my archer line. Getting some bolt throwers, because it looks like I don't have much cav options, and using these lighter Dacian levies to kind of help fill out the flanks. Looking more like an infantry army and less of a... Excuse me. And not really much of a cav army. But I would like to get one more unit of cav, so I'm going to recruit this Bosphorine unit here. Can I raise a force? Can I even afford to? So let me just double check. So I am the Spartasoids. Now we have our only admiral and one of our high-powered generals is in this faction. We need to kind of increase these guys' power less because it's beneficial for us, but more because of the fact that I'm hoping that, as they get more powerful, because look, they're not even on this list. It's 34% to hunt to the 66%. These have no influence. So I'm hoping that if I can get these guys a little bit more powerful, they might be able to, especially these guys who hate the Romans, because we're going into war against the Romans. So I'm going to look for a Panticapaic nobility, maybe raising Petrodov, because I do need to push north. I need to make sure that they can't attack into the heart, because like this area is not that far from our heartland, our ancestral heartland. So we definitely don't want this guy because he's in the faction that we don't want to increase in power. So the only options we have is actually really our dynasty. So it looks like that group I do want to increase in power does not actually come up with an option. There's this guy here. He is another faction, but if I had to choose, but he hates Easterners, and I have actually some good relations with Easterners, so don't really want him in power. All right, so we'll just have to pick the best from our guys. So what I'm basically just trying to do is I'm trying to see. Well, I do like that upkeep. I do like that upkeep production, considering how big our faction is. What do you have, Mr. Politician Guy? I don't really need your gravitas, though. Let's see. This guy is also upkeep, but only reliable. He's not trustworthy. I think we should reward a trustworthy man so that I help my friends. So the Roman impersonators, while it is a good legacy, I can't really remake the Roman impersonators here, which kind of makes me reluctant to build them up. But they're also I'll reinstate the Roman impersonators, but they won't quite be. Won't quite be perfect about it. So we're going to try and get some armies here. We don't have much in the way of options. It's my only concern here. So I'm going to see. So we have a lot of foreigners that we can recruit. A little bit of cheap labor like these levy hoplites. The only problem with the levy hoplites is the fact that they're levies. They're not exactly what I call strong. So we can get these foot archers, which, what is the range damage? Missile damage 16 versus 19. I do like good, more powerful archers. So I'm gonna recruit some of these. Oh, these guys take 3 turns to recruit. That's gonna be a lot. Oh yeah, because we're already recruiting in this map. That's why it's gonna take so long. Yeah, let's get this. Let's get it started at least. I think 4 pikemen to hold the center will be good. Get some good, reliable Scythians here. It will mean, and then we can get 2 more to fill out their ranks. And then we do have more Lauri for Bosphorin spears. Those are pretty reliable. They're not the best, but they're at least, not horrible, I would say. And then, yeah, we'll kind of go from there. My priority would get this army at least strong enough to move over to Singadin and hold it. So that's kind of my main priority here. So let's kind of look at our diplomacy here. See if there's anything we can change. See if there's anybody we need to keep an eye on. These guys like me. They're very friendly. They don't like that I'm expansionist, but we're both empires here. They really judge. They really judge me for doing exactly what they're doing. Let's see. Do you have anything that might be helpful? I do like that. I might get that one. I'm gonna do this one to increase the loyalty of ruling this region. Wait, I'm ruling this region, so you're not actually. That's not actually useful. And not as useful as I thought it was. So I'm just going to. Criminy. I don't know what's a good option now. Alright, so let's look over what I have. So I have my one Navy's right there. The Ares Dread, they're one of my weaker armies admittedly, but you know, they're an old, reliable army. We have a general here. He's holding a kink for me. The Centaurs are slowly making their way westward. Though I just realized they're only 19 out of 20 instead of 20 out of 20. Can I like force march you guys? No, there's no force march option. Oh well. Yeah, they'll slowly make our way through the allies, and eventually we will have 3 full stacks over here. So we could honestly probably wait with this army and not really force the issue, but you know, I like to force the issue. Of course, we have any Roma impersonators. Which I want to see if they're truly the Roma impersonators. I mean, besides Avic having units that do Roma impersonators. I'm hoping pikes count for spear. Yeah, we'll hope for the best there. Let's give this guy some assistance here. I'm giving him some useful bonuses for as a general. Is there any one of my generals, I didn't actually consider this, that might need more followers? It's not really something I check because they don't necessarily mention it a whole lot, so it's kind of like I don't really think about it. Does this guy have a lot of cavalry? No, he has very little cavalry. Fuck it, you can have a mistress. Why not? This is not something I really thought about, but you know, it's the little things that add up over time to cause you success or failure. Impersonators, Odysseus Wanderers. Yeah, this is also one of my newer armies, so actually you might need it also too. Do you have a lot of sword arm units here? You have a few. Not a lot, but a few. What are the other options? Yeah, I think that's actually a good one to get. Yeah, charge bonus is actually really good because they do have a lot of charging units in his army, so definitely don't complain about that. Let's do Crisis Manager, because he is in foreign territory, though. There's not really a whole lot of unrest there. I'm actually surprised. Let's give him bonus campaign move, even if it's, you know, the reason why is a bit sus. You know, don't question it, though. Let's see. Does he have a lot of cav? No, he is actually the least calves of any of my armies. Food is good, though. Let's do an ambitious magistrate there to get us some extra money. Especially to finance a new army that we're building. You know, let's enter. Oh, there's a... I forget what you are for. I should check him out. He's probably another spy kind of character. We'll find out. We'll see. Got to do that. I don't know if this will appear on the stream or not. No, I mean recording. I keep saying stream when I mean recording. It's weird because I haven't streamed for so long, except for one time where I randomly did decide last night to stream Guild Wars 2 a little bit. This is a rather big army. No, actually, it's a full stack plus a little bit extra. I think we can take it. I'm going to quick save in case it crashes on me. So they don't think I have a chance. I'm going to show this guy that I have a perfectly good chance. So we have the ranged unit advantage, and we are defending in a fort. So I think we have a pretty good chance of holding this, especially because we do have some pretty good hoplites. And if we successfully hold this without losing too many men, we should be in a good spot. The only problem we're going to face is I do not know where the enemy's going to be coming from, if anywhere. So it's kind of like I don't know where's a good place to where's a good place to be putting them. I'm hoping they're coming from this direction, but who's to say? Who's to say? I'm gonna put some more over here too. Big thing I don't like about couch ups, the way to be careful is just to remember that they exist. So if I forget that they exist, that could be very annoying. Alright, so I'm going to right there. So what I'm going to try doing with these barricades is try to direct them to where I want, because I do want them over here, but I do have to be prepared for the possibility that they're coming from another direction. So it's also kind of a way to buy myself some time. So could I like get these right here without you finding me? Oh, that'll just have to do. That'll just have to do. Alright, so we're gonna probably need to do is I should put these guys in a loose. Is there loose formation in this game? No loose formation. But I'm gonna put these guys like here. Maybe spread them out manually.
We await your orders! Orders, my lord! Archers!
And the reason I'm spreading them out like this is I'm just trying to hopefully reduce the amount that they just die to enemies' counter archers, like, you know, own archers against my archers. So we'll see how that idea of mine pans out. These guys, we'll just keep them in the back. You know, they don't really serve a purpose in this battle, so I'm just trying to make sure they're not in the way. They can be convenient as like a meat shield if I really need it. So I want to use my hoplites because they're really good at holding a line, but I should probably use my weaker infantry to kind of soften the enemies a little bit, get them tired. Though I do like to use these guys more as flanking guys than as holding the line guys. Oh, let's do my hoplites.
Infantry at your command.
So the purpose is that they're in phalanx formation. They should hopefully hold for quite a while. Have them hold basically both directions, and then what we're going to do is with these Thraos swordsmen, we're gonna have these guys basically ready. If they, assuming they're coming from this direction, to flank out over here and hold. And these guys will be kind of convenient in the back. In case I'm wrong, I could position them in a place to hold the line, like I originally was thinking about. So we'll see how it works out for them. Hopefully they don't all die. I feel like there is room for these guys to fit comfortably. Yeah, let's see. I'm glad you agree with me.
What are your orders?
You'd be like, there? That should be good.
General!
So our cav, we don't want inside the walls here. We want it to be easy for me to maneuver them around and get to where I need them to go. Yes, archers, as you say. Okay. I think that's the best we're going to do, so we're just going to start the battle. Okay, good. They are coming from this direction. I did forget to kind of organize the rest of my hoplites like I meant to. And that is, in case these guys die, I would like them to be able to, enemy reinforcements are coming actually from a different direction, even though they came from the same area. Don't ask me the logic of reinforcements.
We are at your command.
So these guys are spear, cav, melee. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna try getting these guys out of the walls. I'm gonna put the swordsman here because out of the sword units I have left over here, they are probably the tankiest. So probably a good idea. Oh look, they have elephants. I actually don't know if my caltrops will do anything against the elephants, but I do know that we will want to fire
Loose! Archers!
at the elephants,
Fire on the enemy!
since they are quite strong.
We await your orders! Citizen cavalry!
I'm gonna kind of...
General! What are
You guys,
your
I don't
orders?
want you to be where you are. Please
Follow
stop.
me.
Don't destroy my own barricades for no reason. I don't know who taught you that. It was a good idea, but they were wrong.
Orders, my lord!
They should be standard. Yep, they're standard shot.
Fire! Awaiting orders! Ready! Loose!
Yeah, well, the elephants are dead, though they did do some work against my phalanxes all the same. So hopefully the constant archer fire on them will bring them down. They do stand above my phalanxes.
Orders, my lord! Our orders! Advance at the...
Yeah, there goes the elephants. They should. They're routing and they're dying.
Step,
It's going great.
Archers! Loose!
Alright, let's keep loosing those arrows at our enemies here.
My lord!
These are medium spears. These are heavy shock calibers. I don't know how well a
What are your
1v1 would go, but I'm hoping for good things. I should make sure all these guys are on defensive mode. Looks like they are. Into this giant blob of enemies you fire, guys. Into the giant blob. If you aren't getting a bajillion kills by now,
As you say,
you know, are you even trying?
as you command.
Fearmy.
Orders, my lord. General. What are your orders? Lord, take your course. Melee cavalry ready.
Yeah, they got a good charge off against the spirits as I stopped paying attention to them. Bright side is that this guy is by himself, and the rest of the guys over here are melee infantry.
Citizen cavalry.
Our general is under attack.
Our general is very heavy, so this guy outruns him, but my guys supporting him, however, are normal guys.
At the double ready.
So I'm gonna take these guys now, because I'm not expecting a counter charge from the enemy. They're just archers here.
Cavalry.
So once these guys rout, I'm gonna take my general over here. That good, these guys shattered. I'm gonna try and focus the enemy archer lines because those enemy archers are hurting quite a lot. Our backup boys.
At the double. Royal thorax swordsman.
Especially if I get these guys over there too, that'd be great.
Citizen cavalry. We await your
Hoping these guys can throw their javelins into the backs of the enemies and hopefully get some value out of it. The purpose of these guys is going to be to hold this flank. I'm going to pull you in here. Except you, I'm going to actually pull you around. But I'm going to actually have you hold the back. I'm a little bit worried there. Good, they're already breaking.
Royal thorax swordsman. Citizen cavalry.
One of
We
our
just,
units
we
has
just
used
have
all
to be
its
careful of
ammunition.
our own caltrops. Basically what I'm a little bit worried about.
Swordsman. At the ready. Ready and waiting.
Oh, I didn't mean to use those guys yet, actually. Oops.
Melee infantry.
So we're gonna kind of charge these guys into here. Yeah, you should be able to get these guys now.
Royal thorax swordsman. At the ready. Orders.
Over here. The big thing to be concerned about when it comes to actually a flanking maneuver is that these guys are so blobbed up that not all of those armies are actually engaged. So sometimes, like what you might think is a rear attack is actually them
One of our
finally getting
units has
somebody
used
to
all its
fight.
ammunition.
I'm actually gonna walk my general over here.
By your command, Lord. Quick march. Melee infantry ready. We are at your command.
These guys did a great job of holding. Back up your friends over here, guys. Now these guys are shattered. We should definitely run down as many units as we can. Simply for the fact that we are going to have to attack them.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Yeah, these guys are actually kind of struggling a little bit because of the fact that they've been going on in. These guys also have spears, actually, just noticed that. But hopefully this rear charge should finish them off. I'm going to let these guys unleash their jabbies first. I'm going to have to bring these guys over here. Seeing they're attacking the barricades around, I'm actually going to fall back here because I don't want to risk a flank. On my lines.
Has used all its ammunition.
By your command, forward!
Alright, good job, guys. Alright, you kill those guys. But we have a nice surround over here.
Orders, my lord.
The reinforcements are being delayed by the barricades. They're getting shot at by the tower, so I'm not really in a rush to engage them with these spear infantry. Such is the more that we clean up over here, the better we'll do. I'm gonna bring these guys around. I'm gonna walk them. Oh, I can run them to the ground they have to. Oh yeah, look at that. These guys aren't charging these guys, but they should still, I think, kill a couple of them. If I remember how it works properly. You guys have done a great job running these guys down. You can run those guys down over there. How's it looking over here? Yep, they've broken through the barricades. I think I'm going to run my general around over here. I don't want to run him. I have to be careful not to run him too hard because, you know, there's fatigue in this game. But yeah. I would like to get him into position in time. Because right now, for these guys, where's my other caltrops? Caltrops. I don't see any more caltrops. That could just be because I did a good job hiding them. It would be very awkward to lose my own caps to my own traps.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
We are at your command. Archers! Fire on the enemy! What are your orders?
I'm gonna get my archers ready to hold if I have to.
Melee infantry ready! Forward!
You guys are doing a great job of clearing these guys out. I'm very proud of you. I'm gonna walk the general since these guys haven't broken through yet. I'm gonna bring this unit over here to help. Okay, caltrops? No caltrops, we're good. So we should be able to go for a flanking charge on these guys. Depending on how the pathfinding works, it might be better or worse than I'm picturing, but let's hope for the best here.
We are at your command. We await your orders.
These are medium guys against medium guys. They should do a pretty good job of running them down.
What are your orders? Royal Thorax.
But as you can see here, these guys are like in the back so far that they're not really in melee with the guys that they're fighting. The Syrians are doing a great job. I got a good flanking charge on these guys. I'm gonna pull them back out again. Thankfully, these guys are only swordsmen, so it makes it even easier to deal with them. And they're not being hit too much by the archers because the archers aren't exactly fired with what I call grace and accuracy. These guys are doing a great job. I'm gonna walk these guys back here. I'm gonna walk these guys back over here as well. Oh, another unit's breaking. Let's try to get them dead. I was looking over here.
We are at your command. By your command.
I'm gonna bring these guys over here. My guys should have gone a moment of rested, so I'm gonna bring him around. I'm gonna deal with this flank first. Because this one is that the barricade's doing a great job of actually keeping them off of my guys, so I'm like, good job. Meanwhile, over here, they broke through pretty quickly. Rear charge, rear charge, rear charge. Boom! Chakalaka. Another unit over here is breaking, slowly but surely. Don't really have much in the way of ammunition left over, except for these guys who don't know how to aim. You know, I still love you guys. It's just, you know, I prefer if you knew how to aim. Is that so hard? Is that so unreasonable? I was looking over here. Yeah, these guys are still going strong. I think I'm going to try and position these guys. Trying to position these guys, but instead I'm getting orders to kill people. I mean, I don't mind killing people, but, you know, that's not my main goal right this exact moment. It's to get them ready to kill people. Very different. Very different. I'm gonna get these guys over here to run those guys down. Yep, we just broke this entire flank. I'm gonna bring these guys over here to flank the enemy there. Because they took so long to get here. I'm gonna let these guys walk. Wow, it took that long for the enemy general to die. I'm actually moderately impressed by that general. Yeah, I'm not gonna die to any caltrops right there.
Men are wavering.
Oh, men are wavering. But looks like the enemy's about to chain route. Let's give them a little bit of a incentive. We're gonna go for like the slaughter as best we can here, so one of our units did break right before the enemy broke, but I mean understandably so. There's a giant swarm of enemies in front of them, and they don't necessarily know the full battlefield like I do. So I can understand their desire to run away. I'm just gonna speed this up because this is just clearance. Oh, could you just...
You can pause the game or put it into slow motion.
I don't need this. I've been playing Total War probably since I was like 8 years old, off and on. I don't need thine advice. These guys are kind of stuck on the burning barricades, aren't they? Oops. Oh, I think we've cleared up enough. I'm going to end the battle. You know, they said I was going to lose. I lost less than 500 men, and the enemy lost over 3,000. So, you know. And look at that. Alright, they killed 482 guys. I lost 491. Means I only killed 9 of my own guys. That's called trigger discipline, guys. The enemy, though, I killed 280... Well, actually, the difference might actually be my towers. I don't think they count towers as part of my stuff. But either way, you know, I slaughtered that enemy army. Killed them all. Killed more men than I had deployed. Yeah, my cav did a great job, as always, taking out the enemy back archer line. My hoplites held the line as best they can. And my swordsmen that I used to flank, they cut into them. Look at that. 485 kills on the one that broke. 337 in the healthy one. The other swordsman, 250. All those guys did a great job. The Syrian infantry, they got a few kills. Not too crazy amounts, but they did their job. They held the back line where the reinforcements came long enough for my cav to swing around and break them. Their enemy elephants only got 18 kills. I'm a little scared about how long this loading screen is taking. I don't know about you guys. Also, the loading screen is really loud. I don't know why the loading screen is so much louder than the rest of the music, but it is actually driving me a little crazy. Oh. We will show these guys that we are the dominant power in the Middle East. They will enslave their people to the furthest corner of our empire.
I bring word that
I
my
won't. The
lord
reason why I
looks to
won't
end
accept
the
this
war.
peace treaty
He
is
will
because
not look
Egypt's
to
at
end
war
it
with them, and I
alone.
think Egypt gets mad if I accept a peace treaty. So I won't accept a peace treaty. I don't want to make Egypt mad. I'm already fighting Rome. I don't need to fight Egypt and Rome at the same time. It's funny, I'm pretty sure Asgarda has all their armies in the west, none of them by home. So I'm literally defending my own little puppets and allies by doing this. Banditry, food shortage. I know. I'm trying my best. We've encountered Libya Pentapolis. I wonder if this is a faction that got liberated by Rome. I wonder. What is their political affiliation? No, they're allies with Egypt, so most likely Egypt attacked, liberated this area, and then which made them allies. I'm assuming that's what happened.
Your embassy,
I will
inspired
accept.
as it undoubtedly is by the wit and wisdom of Athena herself.
I want military access though. Admittedly, I actually give them military access
bring
as well,
satisfaction to the gods and to my people.
I only really want a defensive alliance with these guys because I don't need to be drawn into that many wars. Though admittedly, me being a defensive ally with them might make it so I go to war with Egypt sooner than I think. We'll find out. So I'm going to besiege this settlement. I'm not going to attack it. I'm going to let them get sieged a little bit. And also will allow me to build up some siege equipment. Like I want to build some siege towers. Or... this is not really a big infantry heavy army, is it? 4 would basically be almost all my infantry. Yeah, so that'd be good.
Let them cower like cattle.
So hopefully if I could take Pella, that would be a good way to dissuade my enemies.
Commander.
I'm not going to worry about that last unit there. I'm going to get this army that can be recruited this turn, and then I'm going to move to Singadun to try and protect it from enemy incursion while I'm focusing on the south. This guy, I'm hoping, will be able to focus on enemies from the north.
Hermes, watch over this track. I am unable to travel this road.
Okay, so I do see that there is no armies currently. I'm going to deploy her
I will see to the
in this region. Yeah, no other new factions that I've encountered. Wouldn't be surprised that at this point we're pretty well consolidated. I'm hoping one thing I can do is once I deal with these guys, which this army did a great job of holding, but I do need a, let's see, oh yeah, bonus ammunition is so good. Just max that out. Means my archers can fire for longer, and my healthiest part of my army is my archers. The thing I'm going to do is I don't want to disband, I want to merge. I clicked the wrong one. Merge. But I'm going to disband this unit here. The reason I'm merging these guys and disbanding what's left over is because I do want my army as strong as possible. So if I can just fill up with, oh look, an elephant. You don't mind if I do. I can hire these guys. I have the money for it. This should hopefully allow me to... I love my Assyrians. There's a way to, like, you know.
We hunger
But I'm gonna replace one of these guys also with a mercenary army unit. 'Cause I am about to attack their capital, so I want to make sure I have as strong an army as possible.
advance has been halted.
Oh, I can beat up the enemy garrison by attacking one of the weak guys outside. So I think we're gonna end the episode here, guys. I'm gonna quick save there. I'm gonna save. I'll save after I do the ending. So we're going to continue the next part, which, assuming I maintain this properly, what I'm doing is I'm going to release these probably every Saturday when I can. That way, you know, factions is Friday, Sunday. These will be Saturdays. Kind of go off there. Might be a good way to get it done. And next time, we're going to basically use this weak army to weaken the enemy garrison without actually having to assault the walls. We should then be able to besiege it with a weak garrison. Maybe even just auto-resolve it to just get it done early. We'll see. And then we'll kind of decide if I'm going to sack them, make them my client, or, you know, occupy. I don't want to occupy, but I know making a client doesn't make them friendly with my allies, so we'll see how it goes. But anyways, I do hope you guys have a great day, night, evening, wherever you guys may be, and hopefully you guys enjoy, you know, more than just my Guild Wars faction stuff, eh? Take care.